if someone, he's the president, and if someone offers him a deal for a two-state solution and he doesn't like it, he has the right to say no because the other side stole his house.
Yeah, but
the other side stole his fucking
there's
house.
two different approaches for this. He can negotiate it and go to a verbal
How do you
war.
negotiate with someone that steals your house? He's not from the West Bank. He lives in the West Bank, but he's a refugee. And when Israel was like, "Oh, we stole your home and spot, but you want a two-state solution," and the plan is absolute shit. He's like, "No, I don't want that. That's bullshit." Why should you criticize him when you stole?
זה לא המספר שלי, הוא סתם עשה את זה בצחוק, צ'יטוס. הבנתי, סתם בטרבן.
When did they steal his house?
הוא גם לא קורא צ'אט בנוסף להכל?
He's 90 years old. He was kicked out of his house in 1948.
Again, I believe that these accusations are false because nobody was forced to leave. They willingly left in order to strike again. This is why there are a lot of Arabs who currently live in Israel and they were living here for decades.
So when I showed you the video of
אחי,
Israeli soldiers saying they did that to like girls and they were doing this and that.
In the end of the
That
day,
was
no.
AI?
Like there's a guy who is his name is Tawila. He's doing a lot of
His name is טלילה. His name is טלילה. התקשרתי אליו, הוא לא עונה, אחי.
intellectual live streams. And he says, why do you need to feel sorry for a war that you didn't intend to do and they lost the war? This man, Tawila,
No.
he says that
So
we
this is
started the
where
war
you're
in
wrong.
47, not them. That when...
So the war, here, I'll just pull it up for you because you have a hard time understanding.
From...
הוא משפיל את רונן. הוא משפיל את רונן.
What I know for certain...
Oh, yeah, sure. But unfortunately, that's not history because 330,000 Palestinians were kicked out before the war even started. Let me find you it.
I'm finding it hard to believe that if Palestinians would have said yes to the offer and they build a sovereign country with independence and everything, that the Jews would have attacked them.
תראו, אני רשום, תסתכלו.
And if the Jews would have attacked them, you would...
But again, I'm trying to explain.
If your sole purpose in the end of the day is to live peacefully, just build a country. Don't invest all the money you got from Qatar into building tunnels and missiles. Invest it into infrastructures, into facilities, into making the Palestinian lives better.
Okay, so again, I already told you Hamas received that money to take back the land that was taken from them because again, 80% of the people living in Gaza, they're not from Gaza, they don't want to live in Gaza. They even held a protest in 2018 called the Great March of Return to return back into their land.
As I told you, there were times that the borders were open and there was a straight train from Israel to Gaza and people were allowed to freely enter Israel and the opposite. But since the second intifada, when they were sending children and women to do suicide bombings, it stopped. We didn't do it because we're evil, we did it to protect ourselves because people were killed from suicide bombings.
Is this before or after you blew up Gaza's airport? Because Gaza had Gaza, you know, at one point they did want to live in Gaza, I agree with you. They wanted to turn it into a thriving city like Singapore.
Okay.
And they were close. They had a $200 million airport that was turned into rubble.
When did it happen?
Because...
In which year did they have an airport?
תראו.
In the 1980s, Yasser Arafat International Airport.
It was named Yasser?
Yeah.
It was named Yasser Arafat Airport?
Yasser Arafat International Airport. Yeah, they wanted to live in Gaza, but after you destroy their airport, you bomb their sea, you bomb their water wells, they're like, oh, yeah, these people don't want to live in peace. Yeah, they destroyed our citrus fruits in Gaza. They had a very thriving economy, and then they
reading about the airport. And it says it was destroyed during the second intifada.
וואי, מלא, איזה שובר הרונן הזה. דקה עד שדקה, אני סוגר מצלמה שנייה, אני רוצה לאכול את הארטיק שלי בשקט, למה אני יודע שאתם תזיינו לי את המוח על איך שאני מוצץ, ואין לי כוח לזה היום.
What happened?
I'm reading my chat right now.
Oh, okay. Was Hamas inside the airport?
I have another YouTuber who wants to ask you a question. He says he's gonna send it right now.
Who?
שיט, הוא יוצא כזה אוטיסט, אני לא יכול.
Mr. Willa is doing intellectual things and he's
אני לא יכול, הוא יוצא כזה אוטיסט והוא ממשיך לריב איתו, אני לא יכול.
Talio?
Tawilla.
Tawila?
לא, 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 לא.
What's his YouTube channel?
It's like this. I'm gonna...
תראו, הם חולקים ביחד ערוצים. תראו, הוא שולח לו ב...
He asks, what sacrifice are the Palestinians willing to do in order to reach a peace agreement with Israel?
I think death?
Death?
Inside their own, in their own anthem, the Palestinian Authority anthem, it's called Fida'i, talks about patriotism and how one should kill himself for his homeland.
I'm talking about
So their
sacrifices. I
identity
mean,
will-
because the Jews, Israeli government offered several times independent country, and I mean, some parties believe that the two-state solution is bad. Some of them think that this is the only solution. But in order to reach an agreement of a peace between the two nations, what kind of sacrifice are the Palestinians willing to do? I mean,
What does that mean?
because the facts are that extremists rule and they decide for example the Gazans, and I mean they do want the country from the
No.
river to the sea.
Hamas came out.
תגיד,
and
עודד,
said
מוטי
they're
ומאור,
not
הם מרכז קרוב משפחה שלך, לא אחי.
governing the Gaza
שיט, זה לא להאמין, הוא מדבר...
They're not interested in becoming a political party anymore.
Who
They
doesn't?
said it's very
Wait, who is
hard.
not interested?
What?
The Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah, Hamas
They don't
does
wanna
not want
remain
to.
power. They don't wanna to continue governing.
Yeah, they even offered to lay down their weapons last year. Israel said no.
What do you mean? I don't think the church.
איך הוא לא מקלל אותו כבר?
מתי חמאס אמרו בוא אנחנו נניח את הנשק שלנו, אנחנו לא רוצים לשלוט יותר בעזה, מה?
Says right here, the Associated Press, Hamas would lay down weapons after a two-state solution, officials say.
Hamas will lay down. It's from APN News after a two-state solution. Official says. Go into the article. Read by like what it says, because
מה זה AP News?
I've never heard about Hamas willingly offering to lay down their arms.
Oh, well, I just showed you they did. It says they would lay down its weapons if.
אחי, מה זה AP News, אחי? הבן אדם מתווכח איתו. על שטויות, אחי. במקום לבוא ולעשות משהו עם החיים שלו ולעשות כסף, אחי.
Borders prior to 1967?
שיט, זה פשוט שיגעון.
Borders, you mean West Bank and Gaza?
Yep. But you would have to take out the settlements and stuff. So, but you know Netanyahu's pro settlements. He's pro. That's why he said no. Because people like you and Netanyahu want to take control over the West Bank. Like, how can you imagine
די, נו, זה לא להאמין.
control of the
זה לא
West
להאמין.
Bank? The terrorist attacks that come against Israel
Mm-hmm.
come from refugee camps. That's a fact. You know Jenin, that's a refugee camp. You know Gaza, that's a refugee camp. Khan Yunis, that's a refugee camp. You can look it up. They're refugee camps. They're classified as refugee camps. Nablus, that's a refugee camp. When the 6 shooters, or how many shooters was it? 2 shooters in Jerusalem?
What do you think will happen when Hamas lay down their arms and the Palestinians will receive an independent country? Do you think the violence will stop?
Yeah, I mean, before Zionism, Palestinians and Jews lived peacefully together. Before Zionism, the first Zionist Congress by Theodor Herzl,
It was in
Jews had
1895.
already
למה עולים מהצבא? כי אני כרגע אוכל ארטיק ואני לא רוצה שתראו אותי.
Jews had already moved into that land prior to that through their aliyahs, and they lived peacefully. Actually, you know, the Jews were the ones that were mistreating the Arabs.
I believe that there were occasions of both parties misbehaving towards the other.
No, actually no. The first Jews to come to that land on their aliyah were from Russia. After 2 million of them were expelled,
די, נו, אני...
2% of the 2 million.
זה כבר כאילו לא שפוי.
And if they are so, I mean, it's written on their flag. I mean, they're
What's written on their flag?
they want the whole Israel as
טוב,
Islamic land
ויתרתי,
must
צ'אט.
be liberated through jihad.
What are you reading? Are you reading Wikipedia? I already told you Wikipedia is going to be the video of that. You want to see the video again? We can watch the video
Hamas
again.
charter regarding Israel.
This is Israel National News 15 years ago.
הבן אדם אומר לו שנפתלי בנט שולט בוויקיפדיה והוא ממשיך לדבר איתו. אחי, כזה אוטיסט. באמת, בחיים שלי לא ראיתי, אני ניסיתי לעשות משהו, אין לי מה לעשות, הבן אדם אוטיסט, כאילו, אין לי מה לעשות. עוד מעט הוא יגיע עוד איזה חצי שעה, הוא יסיים איתו את השיחה, יגיד לי, בוא נשחק, אני אגיד לו, איך היה השיחה, הוא יגיד לי, זיינתי אותו, אתה לא מבין, זיינתי אותו, אתה לא מבין, אני זיינתי איתו. ואז אני אגיד לו, תקשיב, אתה אחד האוטיסטים הכי גדולים שראיתי בחיים שלי, באמת.